Hello, Donovan Bankhead with Fretspot.com. Talking to you today a little bit about the FBass VF5. A lot of you are familiar with FBass producing series like the BN5, the BN6, the Elaine Caron fretless. Well, this is kind of George's take on a more traditional jazz style bass. The BN5s are well known for, of course, hum canceling pickups, a more modern aesthetic, enhanced grain tops, kind of real eye-popping finishes. Definitely something that captures your attention on the stage. The VF5 is kind of a throwback. It's taking what George knows about superior bass construction, electronic design, and applying it towards a more vintage aesthetic. And it succeeds greatly in that. I've A/B'd this bass to some other well-known jazz basses that I have, and I've got to tell you, the VF5 leaves you lacking nothing. In my opinion, again, my personal opinion, far outperforms anything else that I've seen or played in this category. Not to put down other makers, there's awesome basses out there, but I'm pretty amazed with this particular model. Let's take a look at these, shall we? This is VF5 and Sunburst. Just got in here the other day, and let's kind of take a look at it. You can tell from looking at it right off the bat, of course, that we have already doesn't look really hardly anything like an FBass. The really pronounced tusks, upper horn at the top is gone. Of course, no hum canceling soap bar style pickups. A very traditional looking bass, other than the 6 knobs on the front. Outside of that, you know, I mean, this could, to the non-trained eye, could pass for any number of jazz basses probably. But we'll take a look at a few things in particular that I think really stand apart, that make this bass different from the rest. Few things that we'll start with, probably first and foremost, hand-wired pickups. These are pickups of George's creation and design. You won't find them anywhere else but on an FBass, and George feels like that's an important thing, that he builds the pickups. He knows everything that's going into the bass design for his individual instruments, and he feels like he's the one that's best suited to make a pickup for it. And after listening to him, I gotta agree that the man knows what he's doing. I think one of the true magical things, though, about these basses, though, is the preamp. A lot of preamps, of course, have boosts and cuts, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can easily get a tone that just sounds like garbage. I've tried. I'm not the best bass player in the world, but I've yet to find a way to get a bad sound out of this bass. And if anyone can do it, I'm pretty sure I'm qualified to do it. So I don't think it can be done. These things sound amazing. Boost only, setup pretty similar to the BN series, if you're familiar with that. We've got neck volume here, bridge volume. This is passive tone control. When you pull it up, the active EQ goes off. So at that point, it's just a traditional passive jazz bass. Push it back down. We've got bass boost, mid boost, and then treble boost there on the bottom. So like I said, very, very similar to a BN5. This particular model, actually both my models, I had them with the pickup cover put on there. I just think it's really sexy, so that's why I have them on there. So you can of course take them off if you want. One of probably the thing that struck me the first time I opened this bass out of the case was the finish. I don't know when the last time was that I saw a more beautifully applied Sunburst finish. Sadly, on YouTube, it probably won't pick up very well, but just take my word for it, it's amazing. You can see the grain, the fades from the dark color to red to the amber it's just beautiful, and he's really done an amazing job with it. The other thing that really amazed me was looking at the fretboard material. If you didn't know any better, you'd probably think this was some kind of Brazilian rosewood, because it's very dark, it's very soft. You can see some grain and some figuring in there. It's a Madagascar rosewood, but it looks and feels a lot like Brazilian. Absolutely amazing. The other thing that I like too is the way that George has cut the heel access here. It allows you to more easily play in the upper register without having to do any kind of really bizarre hand positions. That neck block is really sculpted and smaller. So with a thumb position here, which is pretty comfortable, you know, you're playing right up on the upper edges of the frets. So pretty cool, I think. And again, even going back to that Sunburst finish, if you look at the headstock, the finish is applied beautifully there, and I think it's pretty elegant and understated. So very impressed. In addition to the Sunburst, I also ordered and received just a black and white, pretty classic jazz bass finish, maple neck. This is kind of, I would say, simple, elegant, understated. Pretty much everything I'm not, this bass is. So this is probably a good partner for me. But again, we've got matching headstocks as well. Basically virtually identical to the Sunburst VF5, just a different finish. We're using, of course, chrome knurled knobs instead of the black plastic knobs. Same boost, same pickup. FBass 5 bridge, which is an option that I chose because I just like those better. And again, our pure, sexy pickup covers. So these things are absolutely amazing, and I think one of the other things to me that stands out with them is that when they're played acoustically, without plugging in, there's just a lot of low end, a lot of resonance, a lot of volume. I mean, to me, that's the thing that's probably most surprising, is how much volume you get just playing acoustically. So I don't know how well that's going to pick up on video, but here it's pretty loud. So anyway, the new VF5 from FBass. Let me know if you'd like to check one of these things out. I'm pretty sure that if you play one, you will not be disappointed. Again, Donovan Bankhead, Fretspot.com.